The fall of the Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilt mansion gleamed under the São Paulo sky, a marble castle hiding dark secrets. Maria, a housemaid, found a note in the trash. "You won't steal from me again, Clara." No one suspected the war tearing apart the billionaire family. Who wrote it? Why the hatred? Maria, invisible to the rich, felt the weight of the truth. That discovery promised to topple an empire. The note, with its shaky handwriting, burned in Maria's pocket. At 45, she had swept the Vanderbilts' halls for 18 years, a silent shadow. The mansion was a stage of appearances, but Maria saw beyond, slammed doors, venomous glances. The note was a loose thread, and pulling it could unravel everything. She hesitated, thinking of her daughter, Anna. The city idolized the Vanderbilts, kings of coffee and technology. Lavish dinners and million-dollar donations polished their image. But Maria knew the harmony was a lie. While serving coffee, she heard whispers of betrayal. The note pointed to something bigger, something dangerous. She tucked it away, heart racing. That night the mansion seemed alive, chandeliers trembling with the wind. Maria, cleaning, felt invisible eyes watching her. The note spoke of theft, but what did Clara, the patriarch's wife, want to take? Maria wasn't a detective, but the injustice gnawed at her. The truth called her, even if it hurt. Anna slept in their favela shack, dreaming of medicine. Maria wanted to protect her, not meddle in rich folks' fights. But the note was a trapped scream, and she was the only one who heard it. Ignoring it would be easy, but something in Maria said, "This is bigger than you." She clutched the paper, resolved. The Vanderbilts posed for magazines, fake smiles plastered on. Maria, serving, was invisible, but the note made her a witness to a deadly secret. Antonio, Clara, Rafael, Beatrice, each hid something. The mansion, so beautiful, was a battlefield, and Maria was in the middle unwillingly. The night silence weighed heavy. Maria reread the note, the word steal echoing. She didn't want fame, just peace for Anna. But the truth wasn't just the Vanderbilts, it was hers too. She stowed the note in her notebook, a silent vow. The war began, and she was the spark. The favela slept, but Maria stayed awake. The note was a door, and she had opened it. Each step now was a risk. The Vanderbilts were untouchable, but she wasn't as fragile as they thought. The truth, she knew, could change everything, or destroy her. The dawn painted the mansion gold, but Maria saw darkness. The note was her weapon, the mansion her stage. She didn't know where it would lead, but it was too late to back out. The secret feud of the Vanderbilts was in a housemaid's hands, and the world would soon know. Maria, 45, was a woman shaped by labor. Her calloused hands scrubbed the Vanderbilt floors, supporting Anna, her 20-year-old daughter. The favela was her home, a tiny room holding simple dreams. Maria never asked for more than her wage, but the Vanderbilts treated her like furniture, useful, yet ignored. Her eyes, however, saw everything. She lost her husband young to an accident. Alone, she raised Anna with pride, teaching her to study. Anna dreamed of becoming a doctor, and Maria saved every penny for it. But poverty was a chain, and the Vanderbilts' delayed paychecks tightened it. Maria lived for Anna, yet felt guilty for not giving more. In the mansion, Maria was a ghost. She served, cleaned, stayed silent, but her mind was sharp, noting details in her notebook, times, moods, secrets. She didn't want to get involved, but injustice gnawed at her. The Vanderbilts swam in billions while she counted coins for the bus. Maria was kind, sharing food with favela neighbors. Her rare laugh was warm, but loneliness embraced her at night. Anna was her light, but also her burden. She felt small for not offering more. The note changed that, igniting a spark of rebellion. Her notebook was her sanctuary, where she wrote thoughts. For Anna, always, read one page. She didn't dream of heroism, just justice. The note was a chance perhaps to prove she wasn't invisible. But fear held her back. What if she lost everything? In the favela, Maria was respected, but no one knew her pains. She kept the note like a sacred secret. The Vanderbilts underestimated her, but she knew them better than they knew themselves. Her strength wasn't money, it was persistence forged by years of struggle. The note reminded her of her youth when she dreamed of teaching. Life hardened her but didn't break her. Maria wanted peace, but also dignity. The Vanderbilt secret was her battle, though she didn't want to fight. That night, Maria watched Anna sleep. The note in her notebook seemed alive. She wasn't rich, but had courage. Saving Anna was her wish, exposing the truth, her opportunity. Maria didn't know how, but felt she was enough. The dawn brought calm. Maria stowed her notebook, ready for work. The Vanderbilts saw her as nothing, but she was everything to Anna. The note was her call, and she, despite fear, would answer. The invisible housemaid was about to change the game. The next morning, Maria served coffee when discord erupted. Raphael, laughing, spilled Beatrice's juice. "You're a mess," she spat. Antonio slammed the table. "Enough!" Clara, cold, suggested Raphael prove his worth. Maria, sweeping, saw hatred in their eyes. The note made sense now. It was just the start. While cleaning, Maria overheard Clara on the phone. "He can't know about the shares." The voice was tense, conspiratorial. Maria noted it, heart pounding. Clara plotted against Antonio, and the note was proof, but someone watched. Driver João eyed her suspiciously. She pretended not to notice, but fear grew. That afternoon, João confronted her in the laundry. "Don't poke where you don't belong," he whispered. It was a threat. Maria denied knowing anything, but he gripped her arm. "Antonio hates snoops." She broke free, trembling. The note put her in danger, and she'd barely begun. Back in the favela, Maria locked the door. Her notebook shook in her hands. João worked for Antonio for years. If he suspected, others might too. She thought of Anna, sleeping innocently. Meddling with the Vanderbilts was playing with fire, and Maria wasn't strong enough. The radio praised the Vanderbilts' unity. Maria laughed bitterly. The mansion was a nest of betrayal, and she was the only one who saw it. The note was her evidence, but also her sentence. João knew something, making her a target. She needed to be clever, not brave. That night, Maria dreamed of the mansion, Antonio laughing as she fell. She woke sweating, the note beside her. Ignoring it was safe, but the truth called. Anna deserved a mother who fought, not fled. Maria stowed her notebook, determined to press on. João didn't show the next day, but Maria felt eyes everywhere. The mansion, once familiar, now felt hostile. She served lunch, avoiding glances. Clara smiled, but it was a warning. The note had made her visible and vulnerable. In the favela, Maria asked neighbor Zé to watch Anna. He agreed, no questions asked. João's threat was real, but Maria wouldn't back down. The note was her weapon, and she'd learned to wield it. The Vanderbilts' war was hers now too. The dawn brought quiet. Maria gazed at the mansion, the note in her pocket. João could threaten, but she was more stubborn. The truth about Clara and Antonio was in her hands, and she wouldn't let go. The conflict began, and Maria was ready. At a gala dinner, Maria served champagne to guests. Clara, flawless in her designer dress, spotted a stain on a glass. "Can't you even do this right?" she yelled, smashing it on the floor. Guests laughed, and Maria, on her knees, picked up the shards, face burning with shame. "Useless," Raphael muttered, passing by. Beatrice chuckled cruelly. Maria, in her soiled apron, felt like nothing. The Vanderbilts reduced her to dust, and the guests applauded. She wanted to run, but Anna relied on the wage. The note in her pocket seemed to mock her. In the kitchen, Maria held back tears. Cook Dona Rosa hugged her. "They're not worth your pain," she said. But the humiliation cut deep, like every time the city ignored her. Maria was just a maid, the Vanderbilts' gods. How could she face them? Back in the favela, Maria faced the mirror. The woman there was tired, but her eyes held fire. The broken glass was more than an accident. It was the rich's disdain. The note in her notebook was her comeback. She wasn't useless. They were fragile. The next morning, Clara summoned Maria. "Improve or you're out," she said coldly. Maria nodded, but inside burned. The humiliation made her want to scream, but she swallowed it. The note was her strength, proof the Vanderbilts weren't untouchable. Anna noticed her mother's sadness. "You're stronger than they are," she said. Maria hugged her, the notebook beside them. The humiliation wouldn't break her, it would make her smarter. The Vanderbilts laughed, but she'd have the last word. The truth was her weapon now. In the mansion, Maria worked quietly, avoiding Clara. The previous night's guests returned, and she served, invisible again. But the note reminded her. She saw what they hid. The humiliation was a reminder. She was nothing to them, but everything to Anna. "In the favela," Maria wrote, "they laugh, but I know." The notebook was her shield, the note her sword. The broken glass had hurt her, but also awakened her. She didn't need their respect, just the truth, and the truth was with her. The dawn brought clarity. Maria stowed her notebook, the note secure. Clara could humiliate her, but not stop her. The invisible housemaid was now a threat, and the Vanderbilts would soon find out. In the favela, Maria met Donna Rosa, a former Vanderbilt employee. "You're more than they are," Rosa said, giving her a contact, Lucia, a journalist. Maria hesitated but kept the number. The note wasn't just a secret. It was a chance to change everything. Rosa also offered advice. "Use your head, not your heart." Maria began to plan. She studied the note, jotting down every fight she'd heard. She bought a new notebook, organizing clues. Small steps, but they made her feel alive. She wasn't just a maid anymore. In the mansion, Maria grew more attentive. She noticed Clara hiding papers, Raphael watching his father. She noted everything, memorizing times. The notebook grew, and with it, her confidence. She didn't know how, but she'd use the truth for something bigger. For Anna, for herself. In the favela, Maria asked Zay, a clever young man, to teach her to record audio on an old phone. He laughed, but helped. Maria recorded Clara mentioning secret shares. Each recording was a victory, proof she could fight. The note guided her, her compass. Anna saw the notebook and asked, "What's this, Mom?" Maria smiled, not revealing all. "It's for us," she said. Anna hugged her, and Maria felt strength. The note had awakened her, and now she walked despite fear. The favela was her route, and she wasn't alone. In the mansion, Maria avoided João, the driver. He stared at her, but she was careful. She pretended to clean while listening. The note was her light, the notebook her map. She wasn't strong, but she was stubborn, and that was enough to start. Maria wrote, "For Anna, for me." It was a vow. Each note made her bigger. The Vanderbilts saw her as nothing, but she saw everything. The note was her chance to prove the invisible could change the world. That night, Maria dreamed of Anna graduating, smiling. The dream strengthened her. She woke with the notebook in hand, the plan clear. The note would lead her to the Vanderbilt secrets, and she'd follow, step by step. The dawn brought hope. Maria stowed her notebook, ready for the mansion. Rosa blessed her, eyes shining. Maria was nobody to the rich, but everything to Anna. The re-beginning was now, and she was ready. Maria dove into the mansion's secrets. She watched Antonio in his office, Clara in her room, the children in the lounge. She noted everything, times, words, glances. The notebook was a war diary, the note its fuse. She learned quickly, driven by Anna. In the favela, Zay taught her to take photos with the phone. Maria snapped documents Clara left on the table, zooming on tiny text. Each image was a puzzle piece. She felt pride, like a detective, not a maid. The note transformed her. In the mansion, Maria heard Raphael and Beatriz argue. "You stole the pen drive," she accused. Raphael denied it, but his eyes lied. Maria noted, the pen drive was key. The note spoke of theft, and now she saw, all betrayed all. She was the only one piecing it together. Driver João followed her with his eyes, but Maria was cautious. She cleaned slowly, listening to conversations. Clara talked of selling everything on the phone. Antonio, of a new will. Maria recorded, the phone hidden in her apron. The notebook grew, and with it, her power. In the favela, Maria asked Rosa to keep photocopies. "If something happens to me," she said. Rosa nodded, serious. Maria knew the risk, but the note pulled her. Inna deserved a future, and the truth was the path. She wouldn't stop now. Maria faced exhaustion, but didn't quit. She woke early, worked at the mansion, wrote at night. The notebook was heavy, full of secrets. She wasn't just the Maria who cleaned. She was the Maria who saw, who fought, who won. In the mansion, Antonio seemed suspicious. "Who touched my papers?" he shouted. Maria, serving, feigned calm, but her heart raced. The note had put her in the crosshairs, but she was smarter. Each recording, each photo made her stronger. In the favela, Anna asked, "You're different, Mom." Maria laughed, hugging her. The note had changed her, and the notebook proved it. She wasn't rich, but had the truth, stronger than gold. The Vanderbilts would fall, and she was ready. The dawn brought courage. Maria gazed at the mansion, the notebook in her pocket. The note was her flame, and she fed it. The journey was tough, but she was tougher. The Vanderbilts' truth was hers now, and she'd use it. One night, Maria was caught by João in the library, photographing a contract. "Snooping, eh?" he growled, snatching the phone. Antonio appeared, eyes cold. "You're fired," he said. Maria begged, thinking of Anna, but he smashed the phone on the floor. In the favela, Maria cried, the notebook trembling. Without the phone, she lost recordings, photos, evidence. Anna hugged her. "You tried, Mom." But Maria felt like a failure. The note in the notebook seemed useless. The Vanderbilts were too strong and she too small. The next morning, Joan left a note at her door. "Silence, or Anna pays." Maria froze. The threat was real, and she was vulnerable. She considered giving up, burning the notebook, forgetting the note. The mansion had crushed her, as she always feared. In the favela, Rosa found her. "You're more than that," she said, handing her the repaired phone from Zay. Some recordings survived. Maria held it, tears falling. The note was still there in the notebook, crying for justice. She couldn't abandon Anna. Maria reread her notes, anger returning. Antonio and João humiliated her, but she wasn't nothing. The notebook was her strength, the note her mission. She decided to continue, even jobless. The truth was bigger than fear, bigger than the mansion. That night, Maria dreamed of Anna, smiling. She woke determined. The notebook had enough to start. João could threaten, but she was smarter. She recorded an audio, spilling everything, and sent it to Rosa. If she fell, the truth wouldn't. In the favela, Zay brought an old phone. "Use this," he said. Maria thanked him, the notebook beside her. The note reminded her she was the voice of the unseen. Antonio won the battle, but not the war. She'd fight for Anna, for herself. Maria wrote, "They won't stop me." The notebook was her shield, the note her sword. The firing had hurt her, but also freed her. She didn't need the mansion, just the truth, and the truth was with her. The dawn brought strength. Maria stowed her notebook, the note secure. Antonio thought he broke her, but only made her stronger. The invisible housemaid was now a warrior, and the Vanderbilts would feel it. In the favela, Maria met Lucia, a journalist. She showed her the note and notebook. Lucia read, eyes wide. "This is big, Maria, but dangerous." She revealed Antonio had a brother, Eduardo, disowned. The note was part of it. Clara knew and used it against him. Lucia handed over an old letter found in an archive. It was from Eduardo, accusing Antonio of stealing his inheritance. Maria froze. The note made sense now. Clara blackmailed Antonio with the secret. Maria held the key to expose it all, but the risk was deadly. Lucia offered help. "I'll publish if you want," she said. Maria hesitated, thinking of Anna. Lucia was her ally, but the truth could cost dearly. The notebook with the note was dynamite, and Maria, the spark. She needed to decide, and fast. That night, Maria reread Eduardo's letter. He died poor, leaving a daughter, Sophia. Maria felt rage. The Vanderbilts stole a life, and she was the only one who could write it. The note guided her, and Lucia, her bridge to the world. In the favela, Zé brought news. João asked about Maria at the mansion. The danger grew, but Lucia promised protection. Maria stowed the letter in her notebook with the note. Eduardo was her cause, Ana her strength. She wasn't alone now. Maria dreamed of Eduardo, thanking her. She woke with the notebook in hand. Lucia was her chance, the note her weapon. The truth about Eduardo would change everything, and Maria was the only one to tell it. A plan formed, risky but clear. The next morning, Maria met Lucia. "I want to publish," she said, firm. Lucia nodded, taking notes. The notebook was her proof, the note her trigger. Maria knew the cost, but the truth was greater. Sofia deserved justice, and Ana pride. In the favela, Rosa hugged Maria. "You're brave," she said. The note had made her more than a maid. She was the guardian of truth. Lucia was her voice, and Eduardo her reason. The mansion shook, and Maria was the earthquake. The dawn brought decision. Maria looked at her notebook, the note glowing. Lucia was her ally, and the truth, her mission. The Vanderbilts would fall, and she, the invisible, would bring them down. The hour had come, and Maria was ready. Maria returned to the mansion, summoned to explain herself. Antonio waited in his office, the note on the table. He'd found it. "You think you can destroy me," he said, cold. Maria, with her notebook, replied, "I know who Eduardo is." Antonio paled, but laughed. She played a recording of Clara, mentioning the secret. "You're not untouchable," Maria said. Antonio slammed the table, calling João. Maria didn't flinch, the note in her pocket, the notebook in hand. She faced the monster, for Ana, for Eduardo. João grabbed the notebook, but Maria yanked it back. "The truth is out," she lied, buying time. Antonio ordered her removal, but Maria shouted, "Sofia knows." The heiress's name froze him. Maria saw fear in his eyes, and it strengthened her. In the favela, Lucia awaited the signal. Maria had sent a photo of the note earlier. She faced Antonio, but the truth was safe. The notebook was her armor, the note her lance. Antonio was strong, but she was smarter. Maria recalled Ana, the humiliation, the note. "You stole a life," she told Antonio. He denied it, but his voice shook. João hesitated, confused. Maria saw their weakness. The note had brought her here, and she wouldn't fall now. Antonio offered money, but Maria refused. "I want justice," she said. He laughed, but it was forced. The notebook had enough, and Lucia had the rest. Maria confronted the patriarch, and he knew he was losing. The mansion trembled, and she was the cause. João released the notebook, intimidated. Maria took it, firm. "You'll fall," she told Antonio. He yelled, but she left the note secure. The truth was hers, and Antonio couldn't stop her. The confrontation changed her. She was the voice now. In the favela, Maria met Lucia. "It's done," she said, handing over the notebook. The note was the start, but she was the end. Antonio was powerful, but she was more. The truth would come out, and the Vanderbilts would pay. The dawn brought relief. Maria gazed at the mansion, the notebook with Lucia. Antonio thought he won, but lost. The note had led her to the Empire's heart, and she broke it. The battle was hers, and the war nearly won. Lucia published it all. Vanderbilts, the betrayal of Eduardo. The pen drive stolen by Maria held proof, forged wills, bribes. Maria faced Antonio in the mansion with Sofia, the heiress, beside her. "You stole my father," Sofia said. Antonio denied it, but the media surrounded the house. Maria showed the notebook, reading steadily. "You erased Eduardo, but not the truth." Antonio lunged at her, but João, confused, stepped back. Clara stormed in, screaming, "You destroyed us!" Maria stayed calm, the note in her pocket, the truth in the air. The mansion was chaos. Sofia presented Eduardo's letter, final evidence. Reporters filmed, the crowd shouted. Antonio collapsed into a chair, defeated. Maria met his eyes. It's over. The note had brought her here, and she'd won. The truth exploded, and the Vanderbilts crumbled. Clara attacked Maria, but guards stopped her. Raphael and Beatrice in the room accused each other. Maria handed the pen drive to Lucia, live on air. The nation saw the Vanderbilt empire, built on lies, fell. Maria, the maid, was the unlikely heroine. Antonio tried to flee, but police caught him. Maria watched, the notebook in hand. The note, so small, had toppled a giant. Anna, in the favela, watched on TV, crying with pride. Maria had faced the monster and won for herself, for Sofia, for Eduardo. The mansion encircled was a ruin. Maria left, the crowd cheering. She bowed her head, humble, but the note in her pocket was her trophy. The notebook told her journey, and the world listened. The truth had triumphed, and she was its voice. Lucia hugged Maria, tears in her eyes. "You changed everything," she said. The note had guided her, but Maria made it happen. Antonio, Clara, Raphael, Beatrice, all fell. Maria, the invisible, shone, and the mansion, now empty, was her witness. In the favela, Maria fell to her knees, exhausted. Anna ran to her, embracing her. The note in the notebook was past, the truth present. Maria had won the greatest confrontation of her life, and the Vanderbilts would never rise again. The dawn lit the city. Maria looked at the mansion, now a skeleton. The note had led her to the climax, and she survived. The truth was her crown, and she wore it with pride. The Vanderbilts were history. Maria, a legend. The news exploded. Maid topples Vanderbilt empire. The mansion was sealed. Antonio jailed for fraud. Maria became a symbol, but the cost was high. A black car followed her to the favela. Anonymous notes threatened Anna. Maria trembled, but kept the notebook close, her shield. Sofia, Eduardo's daughter, sued the Vanderbilts, demanding the stolen inheritance. Maria helped, giving the notebook. "You're my strength," Sofia said. Maria smiled, but thought of Anna. The victory was sweet, but the danger bitter. The truth had freed her, but also marked her. The media swarmed the favela, seeking interviews. Maria refused, exhausted. Lucia told her story, calling her valiant. The city, which humiliated her, now applauded. But Maria knew Antonio's allies lurked, and peace was fragile. The truth came with a price. Clara fled to Europe, her reputation shattered. Raphael and Beatrice, disowned, fought on TV, exposing more rot. The Vanderbilt company lost billions, stocks crashed. Maria watched on TV, the note in her pocket. She toppled an empire but felt the weight. In the favela, Zay brought news. João, the driver, asked about Maria. Fear returned, but Rosa hugged her. "You're bigger than they are." Maria stowed the notebook, the note safe. The victory was real, but the fight wasn't over. Anna needed her, and she wouldn't fall. The crowd in the favela celebrated, bringing food, flowers. Maria thanked them, but thought of Eduardo. His truth had won, but at a life's cost. The notebook was her proof, the note her guide. She was a hero, but also human, and that scared her. Sofia visited, thanking her with tears. "You gave my father a voice," she said. Maria cried, thinking of Anna. Justice was theirs, but danger lingered. The black car appeared again, and Maria locked the door. The victory was fragile, but she was strong. That night, Maria dreamed of the mansion, now empty. She woke with the notebook in hand, Anna sleeping. The note had taken her far, but the road was long. The city saw her, but fear followed. She'd won, but the truth demanded more. The dawn brought silence. Maria looked at the favela, the notebook beside her. Antonio fell, but left shadows. Maria was the light, but the price was high. The note changed everything, and she, now visible, carried the truth's weight. In the shack, Maria opened her notebook. She wrote about the pain, the courage, the truth. Toppling the Vanderbilts didn't erase her scars, but gave her struggle meaning. The city saw her, but she saw herself, and that was greater. The note taught her to be light. The Vanderbilts were what she'd always faced. Disdain, power, injustice. Facing them meant facing her fears. Maria learned courage isn't strength, it's choice. Each floor scrubbed prepared her for this, though she didn't know it. The notebook told her victory. Rosa said, "You're what they fear." Maria understood. The Vanderbilt's power came from silence, but she spoke. The truth was her weapon, the favela her army. She didn't need billions, just herself. The note showed her that. Anna's pain, relying on delayed wages, still hurt. But Maria saw it differently. Inna taught her to love, and that love led her to Sophia. Loss wasn't the end, but a start. The notebook was her soul, the truth her strength. The note changed everything, but Maria changed herself. She wasn't a hero for fame, but by choice. Each note in the notebook rebuilt her. The favela applauded, but she applauded herself. The truth freed her, even with fear. Maria gazed at the stars, the city aglow. The lesson was clear. No one is too small to change the world. The note guided her, but she walked. She wanted others to see the truth is light even when heavy. The notebook held her journey. Maria wrote, "The truth is mine." She learned this in the mansion, the favela, the courtroom. Life tested her, and she passed. Now she knew who she was, Maria the valiant, voice of the unseen. In the favela, Anna slept, the notebook beside her. Maria thought of Eduardo, Sophia herself. They were her strength. The reflection anchored her, ready for the future. She was no longer the mansion's shadow, she was the city's light. The dawn brought peace. Maria closed the notebook, the pen warm. The note showed her she was enough. The truth liberated her, and she'd shine for Anna, for all. The journey shaped her, and she was eternal. Maria visited the orphanage where Anna spent years after her father's accident. Donna Lucia, the social worker, recognized her. "You never gave up," she said, handing her a letter. It was from Anna, written years ago, forgiving her for not keeping her. Maria cried, the paper shaking. The letter read, "Mom, I love you. It wasn't your fault." Maria fell to her knees, the guilt easing. Anna, now at university, wanted to see her more. The reunion was real, and Maria felt her heart open. The note led her to truth, but Anna to healing. "In the favela," Maria told Rosa. "You deserve this," her friend said, hugging her. Maria forgave herself, a new feeling. The notebook held the letter. With the note, Anna was her light and forgiveness her bridge to the future. Donna Lucia helped arrange the meeting. Maria saw photos of Anna, grown, smiling. She was her daughter, and Maria would have her back. The orphanage, once pain, was now hope. Maria cried, but with joy. The note made her fight. Anna, live. In the favela, Zay brought a cake. The community sang. Maria wasn't alone. Anna's forgiveness freed her, and the favela held her. She felt love, something forgotten. The notebook was her story, Anna, her happy ending. Maria wrote to Anna, promising to be there. The notebook kept her promise. She was no longer the mother who failed, but the one who won. The reunion was her gift, and she embraced it, the note beside her, now a symbol. Sophia visited, bringing flowers. "You saved me, now save your daughter," she said. Maria laughed, light. Sophia was her mirror, her strength. Forgiveness united them, a cycle of healing. The note took her far, and Anna was her destination. That night, Maria felt no cold. Anna's letter was her flame. She forgave the past, herself, the world. The favela applauded, and she returned it. The note made her fight, but Anna made her live. The dawn brought warmth. Maria stowed the letter, the notebook beside her. Anna awaited, and she'd go. Forgiveness was her bridge, and she'd cross it. The truth freed her, and love guided her now. Sophia won the lawsuit. Eduardo's inheritance was restored, and Antonio paid with prison. Maria received a reward, enough for an apartment and Anna's university. She shunned fame, but accepted peace. Justice was her victory, and the city respected her. Sophia and Anna met, bonded by Maria. Sophia wanted to advocate for the poor, inspired by her. The favela gained a school, funded by donations in Maria's name. She saw her impact, small but real. The note led her to justice, and she embraced it. Antonio's allies were jailed. Joan confessed, begging forgiveness. Maria didn't reply. Her justice was silence. The Vanderbilts lost everything, and she gained a future. The notebook told the tale. The note, its start. Maria bought a new notebook for Anna. She wrote her journey, for her daughter to know. The apartment had a garden where she planted roses. Each petal was a promise of better days. The truth freed her, and the note, eternal. The community called her Maria the Valiant. She laughed, but accepted it. The reward wasn't money, but respect. The favela shone, and she was part of it. The note led her to justice, and she wore it with pride. The radio played her story, now a song. Maria listened, smiling. Antonio was past. She was present. The city saw her, and she saw herself. The notebook was her proof, the note her strength. Justice found her, and she deserved it. Maria visited Eduardo's grave, bringing flowers. "You won," she said. His courage lived in her. Justice didn't erase pain, but lightened it. The note guided her, and she now guided others. That night, Maria looked at the garden, the notebook open. All was hers, earned. Justice was her crown, and she wore it humbly. The note changed everything, and she, the world. The dawn brought light. Maria opened the window, fresh air entering. The reward was to live, love, be. The note was past, but justice was eternal. Maria was valiant, and that was all. Maria moved to the apartment, the favela still her home. She started a cooperative, teaching neighbors to fight for rights. The notebook was her story, the note, its beginning. She laughed more, lived more, was more. The truth rebuilt her, and she shone. Anna entered university, smiling in a photo. Maria planned to visit, the notebook stored. She was no longer the fearful mother. She was the victor. The note led her to justice, and Anna to hope. Life was new, and Maria embraced it. The cooperative grew, the favela gained strength. Maria mentored youth like Sophia, who wrote her story. The city respected her, the favela loved her. The notebook told her fight, the note its spark. She was theirs, and they were hers. Zay now taught tech at the cooperative. Maria funded his studies, a gift. The favela was a network, and she its strongest link. The note shaped her, but the future called. She was valiant, and that was enough. Sophia brought friends, eager to meet the valiant. Maria shared her story, laughing. She wasn't a hero, just human, but her humanity inspired, and that sufficed. The notebook was her voice, the note its echo. She'd changed everything. The apartment had a room for Anna. Maria painted it blue, her favorite color. Each brushstroke was a promise. The reunion was near, and she was ready. The note led her to justice, and Anna to love. The favela sang at night, and Maria danced. Life, once harsh, was now sweet. She planted, taught, lived. The notebook held her soul, the note her strength. The new beginning was hers, and she lived it with joy. The radio played, but Maria heard her heart. She was the voice of the unseen, now heard. The cooperative grew, Anna neared, and life glowed. The note was past, but Maria was present, eternal. The dawn brought warmth. Maria opened the window, the garden blooming. The new cycle began, and she was its author. The truth freed her, and she guided others. Maria was valiant, and the world knew it. Maria narrated, "The note found me, but I found myself." Her story wasn't about the Vanderbilts, but her. The truth liberated her, courage rebuilt her. She was proof. No one is too small to change the world. The notebook told it. The note, now kept, was a symbol. Each floor scrubbed led her here. Maria learned, strength comes from the heart, not the wallet. The favela taught her, and she'd never forget. The notebook was her soul, the note her eternal flame. The city applauded her, but Maria applauded herself. Silence ended, her voice echoed. She wanted others to speak, to be light. The world needed more Marias, and she showed the way. Anna was her horizon, the favela her route. Maria saw her journey in the stars. Each pain made her stronger, each victory more human. The notebook was her story, the note its start. She was valiant, and that was all. The notebook held her soul, but life was her proof. Maria wrote, "Be your own light." It was for Anna, Sophia, all. The truth was simple yet powerful. The note guided her, and she guided now. The cooperative shone, the favela smiled. Maria wasn't a hero, just human. But humans change the world, and she changed hers. The note shaped her, but the future was hers, free and strong. What do we hide? What do we fear? Maria challenges us. Speak your truth. The city heard her, and we can too. Silence is weak, voice is strong. The notebook was her map, the note her compass. The final image is Maria in the garden, notebook open. The wind carries her words, the sun lights her face. She is the light that conquered darkness. Speak, she says, and the world listens. The dawn is eternal. Maria closes the notebook, smiling. The voice of the unseen is now a shout, and she is its owner. Be the light, she whispers, and the universe responds.